Probably not what you were expecting, right? Yeah, me neither. Is this the end? Like me, I guess you'd have to wait and see.
Tonight on InnerSpace.
When he came up with it, I was like,
genius. The cast confessed what they thought of the series finale.
Then,
Stargate's changed my life in a lot of ways.
what Stargate Universe has meant to its stars.
And
some smart guy is going to go, hey, let's revive this thing.
predictions for the future of the Stargate franchise.
Well, I think we all feel like David Blue does after watching that episode. Welcome to InnerSpace, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Tonight we'll be discussing the season finale of Stargate Universe.
That's right, and this isn't just the season finale of SGU, it's also the series finale, and it marks the end of an incredible 17-season run of the Stargate franchise.
We've got a great show for you tonight. We'll start with a look at the finale, including the cast's reaction to the episode. Writer Joseph Malazzi even tells us about a line that was cut from that great dinner scene.
As well, we'll hear from the SGU cast about the impact the show has had on their careers and their favorite memory of working on the series.
Plus, we've got lots of exclusive thank yous from the SGU cast themselves that you'll only see here on InnerSpace.
And tonight also marks the end of new episodes of Stargate on television, at least for the time being. We'll hear from the casts of SG-1 and Atlantis. Also, co-creators Robert C. Cooper and Brad Wright will speak with us about the future of the franchise.
But first up, in probably his finest moment of the series, Eli Wallace provides the crew of the Destiny with a solution to the shortage of available stasis pods.
I'll do it. Eli, if you stay out, it's automatic. You're dead. If I do it, at least I have a chance. Maybe even a better chance than Rush. For too long, I've been content to stay in his shadow. Play the part of the eager young protege, take his orders. But I'm not afraid to say it anymore. I'm smarter than him.
Well, I knew Eli was smarter than Rush all along.
Well, maybe not all along, but certainly in the last few episodes, that's really come to light and been confirmed. And this whole second half of season 2, we've talked about it on InnerSpace, has been about Eli stepping up. And you know, this episode made me really think so many main characters that are a big part of this show. But do you think that maybe you could describe SGU as the journey and the coming of age of Eli Wallace?
I suppose you could. I mean, there's certainly a whole lot more going on, and there's other characters that you can really relate to, and other characters that we've seen grown. But I gotta say, it was nice, you know, that beginning comment from Eli at the start of the episode, you know, in spite of everything, I'm happy. And then at the end, that last shot of him staring out at, you know, space whizzing past him.
There it is, yeah.
And he does look happy, even though he's got this incredible weight on his shoulders. At least he's doing something that no one else has ever done before, and that I can certainly relate to.
Well, and the other great thing about him was, you think of Stargate, as we talked about and are going to talk about tonight, it was a franchise with 15 seasons of mythology. You know, when Stargate Universe launched, Eli also served a very good purpose for audience members who might not have known anything about Stargate, in that he didn't either. The SGC is a secret. So he was learning things for the first time. So a bit of an audience proxy, this character, too, and really important as a plot device.
Absolutely. He was great at bringing everyone on board and, you know, carrying us along on this journey that has now reached its conclusion. And we actually talked with a whole lot of the cast and asked them what they thought of the finale.
it's kind of a brilliant cliffhanger, though. I mean, Brad was no joke. When he came up with it, I was like, genius.
I think to all of us, we didn't know the finale was going to be a finale. So it's hard to think of it even now as the end. But at the same time, it's kind of poetic. I kind of like the thought that the whole world is open now, and now people can just imagine what would have happened next on their own.
It's, I think sometimes you end on an exclamation point, sometimes you end on a period. This one is a ... if not a comma. It's an ending of sorts, but it doesn't really feel like the end. It's kind of like a piece of music that still ends on an unresolved chord. You know, there's a lot more still out there, and that final shot of Destiny going into FTL and flying away from us with all those people on board, I'm just dying to know how things turned out for him.
Some really moving words there from the cast, and I like the way that Brian J. Smith described it as an unresolved chord. You know?
Exactly, yeah, great analogy.
You're waiting for that next little thing, but at the same time, if they had gotten another season, you wouldn't want to wrap it up like a series finale. So I think it worked very well as a season finale. I think it was left, you know, on a bit of a plateau in terms of a series finale.
Yeah, but it does, as they were saying, you know, let you make up what happens, you know, from here. So, you know, I'm envisioning a happy ending for everyone. Rush finally gets to ascend somewhere.
You think Rush is ascending?
Yeah, sure. Let him have his happy ending. You know, he has come around a little bit in the past few episodes.
Oh, has he? I thought as I was watching it, I'm like, I bet you love the moment where he was frozen, so he would stop talking there. And your man, Young, I gotta say, I've really loved Colonel Young. I know I'm always critical of him as I compare him to Rush, but at the same time, he still didn't kiss TJ in the end.
Oh, I know.
You're not gonna see each other for 3 years. Give her a peck.
There needed to be a bit more romance between the two of them in this finale, for sure. But I gotta say, I loved that moment when everyone was going into the pods, getting frozen, the little looks between the characters, the relationships there, even Volker eyeing Park, and she can't look back at him.
My favorite of the little goodbyes, there it is, Brody and Volker shaking hands for the last time. I also really love that Last Supper scene. It reminds me of like the biblical Last Supper.
I enjoyed it as well. I just wanted to see more of those other characters that we've grown to love involved in the Last Supper. Too bad they were already in the pods.
They had already got them in the pods.
Yeah, great scene nonetheless.
Well, it was, and this great finale was written by Joseph Malazzi and his writing partner, Paul Muley. And when we asked Joseph about the episode, he let us in on a little secret.
One line that didn't survive, that didn't make it into the cut, I actually had Young lift the glass and toast to 3 years. And 3 years, of course, is meant to imply the hopefully 3-year journey that they will take in stasis. But in my mind, the 3 years, of course, was that third year of Stargate Universe, where I imagine we'd come back and potentially, if we had to, wrap up the story and give the fans, quite frankly, the satisfactory conclusion that they deserved.
It sure would have been great to get a season 3, but you got to look at what you have, and what we have had is this fantastic show to talk about on InnerSpace. So much love for Stargate.
Yeah, it's been all killer, no filler, and you guys love the show as well. Later, we've got some great messages from the cast and creators of SGU to you, but we also wanted to ask you, fine viewer, for your messages to them, and as usual, you came through. Craig said, thanks to the cast and crew of SGU for 2 great years. Wish we had gotten to see the end of the story. Best wishes for the future, and hope you have great success in whatever comes next. Well said.
Kenny said, SGU was a fantastic journey and will be greatly missed. Eli was the most awesome genius in the franchise. Ooh.
Rush was a great genius, too, though. Matty G said, this may sound stalker-esque, but SGU is one of the first series where I cared about the actors as much as their characters, and that's all thanks to Twitter.
They were fantastic on Twitter, even tweeting Teddy and I.
Yeah, very reachable.
Yeah. Jason said, the show was the best of the franchise and ranks with BSG and Farscape as a high point of sci-fi.
Aisley said, a huge thank you to everyone involved with SGU. What an amazing piece of work it is.
And a huge thank you from Teddy and I to everyone involved as well. That was a great piece of feedback to conclude with. And if you want to see tonight's episode of Stargate Universe one more time, you can, beginning tomorrow at spacecast.com. It will be up online for your viewing pleasure.
That's right, and I know AJ and I will have a lot more to say about this big season and series finale, so you can check out InnerSpace Raw, also at spacecast.com, right after tonight's show. And while you're there, why not leave a comment on our blog?
Of course, you can always tweet us, twitter.com/Space Channel.
Hit up our Facebook fan page.
Or send us an email, innerspace@spacecast.com. Please keep the feedback coming. And later in the show, the co-creators of Stargate Universe will speculate as to the future of the franchise. But first, here are some exclusive InnerSpace messages from the cast and crew.
Thank you guys so much for supporting our show and for hanging in there. It's been an amazing ride, and I feel so lucky that I was able to be a part of it.
Thank you very much to all the fans of space who have watched the Stargate franchise over the years. You have, supported us, and we appreciate that. We loved making the show, and all we could ever hope for is that you'd love watching it. On a personal note, this show has been the beginning of what I hope is a long career, and I personally thank you very much for all your support.
Just wanted to send you a little personal thank you for all your support and good vibes and amazing energy and the great feedback you guys have been giving us on the show. It's been an amazing 2 years, a really epic journey for all of us professionally and personally, and Just wanted to say that our Canadian fans have been the most supportive and vocal from day one. And I'll never forget going to the space, or going to InnerSpace, and watching our Canadian fans get to watch the show. And we stood backstage and listened to you, and just your energy and your love and excitement for the show really blew us away. And that doesn't happen a lot in this industry, and we really, really thank you for that.
Coming up, we've got our favorite memories, but what are theirs?
My favorite memory is probably going to be shooting the final scene.
We head down memory lane with the cast of Stargate Universe.
Then,
you made, like, the ultimate actor dream come true.
the stars of the franchise speak directly to you.